Well, I'm going to start off by saying, yeah, I admit I got home towards the end of this game. Almost at the end of this game. I would like to thank everybody who came out today to the Brody Henson Memorial. Um, Tremendous turnout. It was a great little event we had. I saw somebody ask who won. We weren't really keeping track of that. It was all about getting out, hanging out, and reconnecting. For me, reconnecting with some people that I've hung out with before at meetups, and definitely some new guys as well. Greatly appreciated y'all came out. That was a great time, and we didn't get to Boston Pizza where we started watching the game until this game had started, and it was 1-0 Dallas as we sat down. And it's interesting because I was the only one in the place, it seemed, cheering for Dallas. A lot of Blues jerseys. If you watch the live stream from earlier, a lot of Blues jerseys. A lot of people right now pulling for the Blues, and I was like, really? Nobody. And I would have wore, if I'd known it was going to be like that, it would have been a Dallas jersey I brought with me today. But yeah, these things happen. But I wanted to say thank you to those that came out, and it was great. So I had a nice, enjoyable first and second period watching this game at Boston Pizza while hanging out with some really cool people as well. First period, Rupe Hintz scores from Zuccarello. This kid is just taking leaps and bounds forward. It seems like every game he gets more confident, and he seems to be better every game. It's been surprising because last year, of course, in the Calder Cup, the Texas Stars lose in the finals to the Toronto Marlies. There was a lot made about the guys that the Marlies had that would go to the Leafs and how this was going to be, how this worked. And the Texas Stars, there wasn't really a whole lot said. And some of these guys have really been key guys to this team this time around. Heiskanen then gets a goal from Hintz and Zuccarello. And I have to say Zuccarello has made a huge difference as well for Dallas. So 2-0 for the Stars, and I'm legit kind of surprised by this. Parayko then scores from O'Reilly and Perron, and this is when penalty trouble starts for Dallas. But you know what's great about penalty trouble is a great penalty kill, and Dallas seemed to have that going for them today. Now, whether it's St. Louis being snake bit or Dallas's great penalty kill, that's something that we can see over a period of a series. But it was good to see because they needed it today. Janmark would score from Dickinson before the end of the first period, and Dallas puts up a 3-spot in the first period against St. Louis at home. Shots are 10-10 in that first period. So 3 goals on 10 shots for Dallas. Some really solid play. The Parayko goal, I've seen the replays now from where we were. I thought it looked like kind of an iffy goal, but I guess there was a tip that happened in front, so I'll give Bishop the pass on that. And honestly, Bishop played really well today, so I can't say a whole lot that's bad because the second period, St. Louis dominates, just dominates, and I was talking about how it would be nice if Dallas got it out of their zone and get it in the other end. They didn't really listen to me very much. 14-7 were the shots for St. Louis in that second period. So, concerned, yeah. Probably. Third period. So this is what my phone let me know we'll run away home. That Schwartz scores from Parayko. I'm like, of course, I'm not watching it. So, of course, St. Louis scores, right? So, the interesting thing that takes place, and I found out when I got home what was going on. So, it's around 4.5 minutes left. And I've got the app on my phone, and I'm like, oh, well, what's going on here? It still says 4.5. Now, if you've had the NHL app before, it does tend to freeze. Sometimes it freezes mid-game, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I was thinking, great, it's frozen, and it'll all of a sudden say final. And it's done that to me before, where it goes from like 8 minutes left in the game, and then final. I'm like, wait, no, what are you talking about? So I come home, and as I came home and turned on the TV, Ben Bishop, my friend, you must have known I was coming home, and you're like, Shannon can't miss the end of this game, guys. He can't. And so he had equipment issues that he needed taken care of. And that's why the phone kept saying 4.5 minutes, because he was fixing everything and getting himself and the Stars a nice little rest for the last 4.5 minutes of the game, which they needed. Dallas takes a penalty. It's actually Hintz that took the penalty for delay of game. You can't argue that, and you can't say, well, that was a dumb penalty, other than to say that, you know, Hintz made a momentary lapse decision, you can't get mad at the referees for those calls unless it actually wasn't delay of game and it did tick the glass, which it's a whole other issue. This case, it was pretty clear. So they kill that off, and they kill it off for a decent amount of time while Binnington is pulled, and there's 6 guys on the ice. Now, it makes me nervous because St. Louis is right around that net, right? But Hintz comes out of the box, and Dallas managed to kill that off, and then Hintz gets the empty netter, steals the puck, throws it almost the length of the ice from the blue line, and goes in the net. Your final score is 4-2. Dallas has tied the series. Dallas goes 0 for 2 on the power play in this game. St. Louis goes 0 for 5. So that's something that's really going to stand out at the end of this game. It was the difference. The difference was that Dallas had a great penalty kill, and who's your best penalty killer? Your goaltender. So Bishop had a fantastic game, saves 32 out of 34. Binnington saves 31 out of 34, and that's the difference right there. It is razor thin this time of year, and it is again in this game. But for Dallas, now all they have to do is go home and win games 3 and 4, maintain home ice advantage, and it puts the pressure right on St. Louis. These playoffs, as we've been saying, very highly unpredictable. Would it be all that much of a surprise if Columbus goes into Boston tonight and gets a win? No, it really wouldn't, because that's the kind of playoff that we're having. So there you go. Dallas goes in and gets a win against St. Louis, a team that is one of the best teams in the league since mid-January. So that's a good win, and I have no regrets over the timing of the tournament and all that. And you know, that was this has been a pretty good day so far. We'll see in the later game if it ends up being a great day. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I'm absolutely blown away by the numbers the channel has and just the connections I've made with people. To the waiter at Boston Pizza who came over and had intended to come out to the game, but ended up having to work. I do hope to see you at the next meetup that we will be having 3 to 4 weeks from now, which will be more in the Coquitlam area. So for people who came out to the meetups last year, it's going to be pretty much the same area that we had the meetups last year. It's a nice central area for those. But there you go. Dallas gets the win. St. Louis will now be going to Dallas. The good news, if you're a Blues fan, Dallas is pretty good on the road in the playoffs so far. And now they get to try to bring that magic to Dallas, just like they did to Winnipeg. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.